agents, intelligent agent, these jobs are going to be challenged. You should be able to innovate on top of these skills and capabilities. And one of the concepts that we are seeing in the industry is you don't need to be a coder, you don't need to be an engineer in this artificial intelligence era. You can use and leverage artificial intelligence tools and technologies to create a product and service that's going to better serve the world. And that's going to better create a new business opportunities. You can be an entrepreneur by yourself. And coming from a defense background, I know I got a good introduction there. But I forgot to tell ma'am that I served in Kargil operations. I was an Air Force officer first, right? Thank you. I was an Air Force officer for 10 years in the Indian Air Force before I reinvented myself to come to States for my master's in business. And from then on, I entered into technological landscape and within Microsoft. But what we are seeing between Russia and Ukraine, if you think about it, earlier, Ukraine could have been wiped out within no time. But because it's an era of drone, AI, and precision technologies, and cloud technology, Ukraine is able to stand the might of Russia. That's one example in how the shift in defense technologies in the power, it can challenge really a superpower. A small country can challenge really a superpower. What I'm leading the conversation into, if you have an idea, if you have an opportunity in this AI era, you can create your own small business in Bangalore or even remote areas of Karnataka or in South India or North India, but your market will be global market. There's no barrier to entry. I want to make sure we understand this clearly. The world is a global market right now, and we are very well networked and connected. And why we are seeing what we are seeing? Because the emergence of technology, starting with cloud computing, into artificial intelligence, into generative AI. Again, the difference between AI was there for multiple decades. But what we are getting into is something is called generative AI. That means you can create a content just by prompting, but just by asking the ChatGPT to create a new content. Earlier, you cannot imagine the difference between a Google search and ChatGPT is very, very significant. It's just not reflecting the content in the web and showing it to you. Using the Gen AI technologies, you can now create a research paper. Think of how it's going to impact an education system. The professors and the gurus, what we call, will truly become mentors, because a student can learn as much as a professor or a staff can have the idea of knowledge. You can do your PhD thesis. It doesn't need to take 3 years or 5 years. You should be able to accelerate your PhD thesis within a year. And we can aggregate the contents, the best content in the world from everywhere, and it will be at the students' fingertips. So we got to be prepared as an educator. You got to be prepared to get challenged. I understand. I completely agree with that concept, right? There's no barriers no limit for human creativity. But once you start using AI, it's a multi-model. What I mean by that is you can now generate content, you can generate text, you can generate image, you can generate a video, animation. Your creativity has got no bound, no limits in this artificial intelligence era. And that's what I'm afraid most of us are missing. We should know, how do we leverage this technology to innovate faster and better than most of the Western countries? Because this technology is available to you. And as an educator, I would challenge all of us, because I advise most of the large customers that makes chips for artificial intelligence. I'm responsible to tell them, how can they transform their operations? So I'm at the same time challenging our educational system too, is instead of going by a standard framework of ideas and thoughts, how can we integrate different ideas and perspectives across the world and challenge the students? And most of this Western system I've studied here is open book, right? They challenge the students so efficiently and effectively well, it doesn't matter. But the application of the knowledge is going to be the key. And that's where we should head into. And that's where we should push our students, our next generation of our young generation, to push and expand the boundaries, continue to expand the boundaries of development and ideas so they can create new products and services. The one thing I really want to emphasize is AI is not going to replace anyone, but it's going to definitely replace the mundane task, right? If you don't upskill, cross-skill to this platform, we are going to see some significant changes in job market. I'm predicting Indian services industry is going to have the challenge because we predominantly have served Western countries or across the globe by just giving the development and coding skills. We need to upgrade that. That's an engineering side. As a researcher and as an educator, as a student of education, or whatever you're studying, whichever branch you're studying, it can be finance, can be marketing, can be healthcare, it can be going to any college or universities. But without leveraging the ingenuity of AI, you will be falling back pretty rapidly. Just like what we are talking about have and have nots and digital divide, the divide is not, you will not be able to bridge in pretty fast. So that's the idea behind AI. And the theory and concept doesn't matter. The application of AI matters. And the technology is available to you right now for everyone to leverage, right? And I don't know how much of time I have. I really welcome an opportunity to interact because the world we are seeing in North America, when I come to India, I bought from Microsoft Philanthropies, artificial intelligence literacy to the school children. I didn't bring it to the college children. I bought the AI literacy and foundational literacy to the government school children of state of Tamil Nadu. And we should be rolling out thinking the same thing to every different state. The concept and vision there was, it's not a rocket science. You don't need to be a neural network, large language model developer. But if you can generate ideas if you know how to use a vision technology, that is enough. You can help a doctor identify scans much faster and tell whether it is a clean scan or a scan that needs to be reviewed by the doctor. A doctor seeing 50 scans per day can now see 500 scans. Think about productivity. Think about the accuracy in which the AI can tell, hey, don't miss this patch here. There's a likely possibility of some formation of some disease. It's going to impact the healthcare and drug discovery and cancer research, genetic engineering. The impact is very different than what we think in terms of AI. It's going to change the way we operate, including security, defense, healthcare, and everything. With that said, I would love to interact if there are any questions, because we see a lot of standards, best practices, and benchmarks that's shaping up. I would like to share and also hear from you what's happening there. If somebody can take the question and take it in the mic, I'll be more than happy to discuss that.
Hi, sir. Greetings from Jain Interview University CMS. This is Dr. Richa Tiwari. We have some of our students here, BBA graduate students, and they have some questions for you, and they will continue from here on.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Good morning, sir. This is Tejal here. So my first question for today is, how does Microsoft balance AI innovation with ethical concerns like privacy and bias?
That's the most important challenge we are tackling right now. right? So when we think about, sorry, what's the name again?
Tejal.
Tejal, yeah. So Tejal, it's one of the important question that we are facing and challenge we are facing in the industry right now is how ethical and biased the AI engines are. And I will talk generally, but I'll also talk about Microsoft, right? So we talk about deep fake AIs that can literally destroy a person's reputation. It can also influence an election, can create social unrest, right? So the governance system, the control, governance, ethical, regulatory systems are coming together. In fact, it is already shaping up in a way that a law in terms of ethical and bias, if any AI engine, large language model or small language models are being rolled out without proper bias testing or ethical validation, then that should not be available to general use. But having said that, I also recognize that anyone with a GPU, few GPUs can create these models. But what needs to happen is a regulatory framework has to be created. Country-specific regulatory framework needs to be created. And a punitive action needs to be taken because that's not simply acceptable to have this kind of AI engines that are biased or can go into bad actors' hand, right? And that's why we are working with governments, we are working with other corporates that can create this, that has the potential to create, to prevent ethical bias as well as proper testing. From Microsoft perspective, I'll come to Microsoft side, we don't release anything without, we don't release any model. You can talk about ChatGPT 3.5, 4, 4.0, 4 mini. Every single model is tested for ethical bias. And I don't want to talk about my competition, Gemini or Google, right? That's for you guys to decide where they are and how it's been released. But overall, I can talk about the industry. We don't release a model without a testing validation on all these areas, including ethical, social, and other biases that can get influenced, right?
Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Now we have Dia Kothari. Dia, you can go ahead with your question.
Good morning, sir. I am Dia, and my question to you today is, how can we maintain our originality while simultaneously enhancing our efficiency through implementation of AI?
So that's a good question, but think about AI and Gen AI in a different way, right? So AI, you can maintain originality, right? So you get into a machine learning model, you create whatever data you feed, you can have an accuracy in prediction, you can have testing and all those things. That's machine learning, right? Generative AI per se is designed to create new content. If you and I are asking a question, natural language, create a thesis about, let's say Shakespeare or something, right? Or something about physics or chemistry or Darwin's theory, anything. It will give the original content as theory, but it can also create an additional content, how the application of that theory can be rolled out in the future world. So all you need to think about is generative AI per se is used to create new content that never existed before. It's an engine that continues to innovate and create new content. That's why you can create a 10-page essay, or you can create a storyline, a movie with no time, just by giving the ideas to that, because it has read all the literature. It's never going to be original, right? That's why the content generation is going to be new. And now we are even getting into synthetic data, right? So think of trillion parameters, multiple billions of parameters for large language models. So you need to take away one thing. Generative AI is going to have the core concept as the original idea. From that idea, it's going to generate something extraordinarily different than what you and I can think. Make sense?
True, sir. Thank you for the answer.
All right.
You can go next.
Good morning, sir. I'm Arnab. Just a quick question. As technology continuously improves and changes over time, being from a management background, what kind of skills would you foresee that future leaders may need to use in regards to how they can maybe enhance the use of AI or control the use of AI in their daily lives?
Yeah, so the last sentence, there's no control of AI. All right, we need to understand that we can use AI for a better purpose. So you can have a regulatory controls. If you avoid infusing AI in any of the areas we're talking about, you'll fall behind, because world is not going to wait for you. They're going to continue to innovate. But I, being an MBA guy from one of the top institution from US, and your question is, as a management guy, the idea is, how do you do a management of technology, right? How do you use a technology for effective product development? And what are the securities and other frameworks you need to put in place? That's the leader's responsibility, right? Can I adopt this technology? What type of technology I should bring it in? And how can it serve my company, my institution, to be better, to be a leader in the space? And that's the idea of management. Management per se is different than leadership, right? So management is, you understand the framework, you create discipline within the framework, as well as you're rolling out the technology in a most responsible way. Guess what? Who is going to be penalized if some company rolls out a bad technology? That's you. That's why management and leadership is like leadership and the management, they're paid a big buck, right? So our concept should be, how do I manage this technology effectively? How do I empower my staff, my employees to use this technology effectively? How do my customers see this technology? How do I encourage my customers to leverage this technology? That's how you should be managing the technology. Whether it is AI or AGI or super intelligence, doesn't matter. That's your responsibility. That's your accountability too. All these chancellors and pro chancellors here, for them, it is highest responsibility. We talk about AI's ethics, right? But all the leaders and management team that's here, for them, it is ethical responsibility. That's a governance responsibility. There's a responsibility to make sure that the graduates and the students are getting the right skills in the future area. So they have to continually change. You understand, right? You got to continually change the as per the marketplace, what is shaping the marketplace, and how you can infuse these changes and build the building blocks. And that's a very challenging thing as a being the management side. Managing technology, people, process, systems is what you need to do, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your introduction. Nancy, you can take over.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Sundar, for your invaluable insights.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity to interact. Yes.
Joining us despite the late hour in the US, your perspectives and like on AI and its impact have greatly enriched our conference. We deeply appreciate your time and contribution.
Best wishes to our Jain institutions and the leadership there. All the very best to the students also. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that we now proceed to one of the most anticipated moments of our conference, the official release of the conference proceedings. This compilation is a testament to the hard work,
dedication, and intellectual contributions of our esteemed researchers, scholars, and presenters. It encapsulates a diverse array of research papers that delve into the transformative impact of AI. All right, there's been a change. So we'll directly go to introducing our chief guest for the day. Success is no accident. It is hard work, perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love of what you are doing or learning to do. This quote by Pele perfectly reflects the journey of our distinguished speaker, Ms. Vibha Mishra. As the Global Learning and Development Lead at Tier2Every, Ms. Mishra brings over a decade of experience in designing and implementing innovative learning strategies. She is a seasoned IT learning and development manager, renowned for driving organizational success through comprehensive competency development programs. Ms. Mishra excels in aligning learning initiatives with business objectives to enhance employee performance and foster growth. With a deep understanding of technology, a keen adaptability to AI trends, and effective learning principles, Ms. Mishra creates engaging and impactful learning experiences that resonate with diverse audiences. Her expertise spans leadership development, change management, and talent development. She has successfully led initiatives in cross-cultural engagement, diversity inclusion, and women leadership during her tenure at Tier2Every. We are truly honored to have Ms. Vibha Mishra as our esteemed chief guest today. Please join me in welcoming her to the stage.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for the warm welcome. I would like to extend my gratitude to entire management of Jain University for having me here and giving me opportunity to connect with all our future leaders. So I'm glad I'm connecting with you all today. I'm sure that you are going to be future leader, probably for any XYZ organization. I'm so happy to see that, topic as AI. We are having conference at colleges. So this is something which is very much important. We are having a lot of conferences when it comes to corporate. But I think, seeing that at educations, universities is something which is very, very nice. Okay, so one thing which, I want to ask, especially from student, and yeah, of course, when there is a HR, how HR can go without asking question, isn't it? So the question for you, have you heard about companies such as Kotak, General Motors, or have you heard about that? What happens to them? Only students. Anyone would like to answer? What happened to them? Are they there with us today? Yes, no, maybe. Come on, it's okay. I know you all are very intelligent. It's okay, don't hesitate. Just speak up. You want to say something? No? Okay. No one? Yeah, please.
They didn't adapt to the new technologies that were in the market.
Exactly. So that is why we say, right, the change is important. If you don't change, the change is going to definitely change you, isn't it? What they thought they are the best in the market. They were very confident, right? Also, they were scared to use something which is trending or something which is a new technology. They were thinking, and I would not blame them as well, right? If something is going right, why would you change? Because you feel, right, everything is going well. We don't need to change. However, technology is something where we all need to embrace with lot of pride. You have to embrace the technologies. There is no other option. As I mentioned, if you don't change with the change is going to definitely change you, right? So with this, be positive. Be positive. Don't think AI is going to, I heard a lot about losing the job or AI will replace the human. No, it's not going to be the same, right? I come from a corporate. We have also embraced the AI in few areas, and I don't see someone is losing job, right? I give an example of mine. I use a small part of AI, such as ChatGPT, right? Everybody would be using that. And not many people definitely talking about ChatGPT, starting from the student to the leadership, isn't it? So what happens when we use ChatGPT? We save our time, right? And that time we can utilize it for something else, which is very much important, isn't it? Let's take an example of the HR, right? We do hiring, isn't it? So if we go with the traditional way of hiring, definitely it's going to take me a week, isn't it? With the help of AI, I can do that job within 2 days because we have a technology in place. So why shouldn't I adopt? I should go for it, right? Now coming back to the learning part, which is the main topic today, right? AI enhanced learning. What AI does there? It provides you a personalized learning path based on your need. For a professional, learning professional, if I have given a task to work on individual development plan, and I have close to, as in my organization, if I talk about, I have close to 20,000 plus employees within Theatre Every. And if I have to work on their individual development plan, you can imagine the days or the month or the years I will take. If I go with a traditional way of customizing the learning path. Now, all thanks to AI, at least if I have a data in place, if I have an input in place, definitely I'm going to receive the customized learning path for each and every one. Second example, content creation. So as I mentioned, or in my introduction, it was mentioned, right? I create content. 6-7 years back, I was working with Accenture, and one content creation used to take almost 7 days of mine. Now, the same job I'm able to do within few minutes because I'm giving a right input and I'm getting my work done. So for everyone, it is important to utilize your time wisely. For everyone here. And you all who are going to be the future leaders, it's very good you are getting the opportunities right from your academic days. Also, the AI is something, it's not only giving a learning to the student or in the education sector or in universities. We all are on the same bench, right? Even all the organizations are spending a lot of money for their employees to train them for AI. We are having a separate offering called AI learning. And everyone is at the start. Be it is a leader or it is someone from a campus hire whom we have onboarded yesterday. Having said that, please embrace AI. Please be positive. Do not have that fear in your mind where you feel, right, it is going to replace the human or what is going to happen. Are we going to get the job? Because anyways, most of the things are getting done. Things are getting automated. So AI is not going to take away your job. It's just that if you don't know how to use AI or how to embrace and how to utilize your time, then definitely you are going to lose. With this, I wish you all a very good future. And I'm definitely sure that you are, as I mentioned, you all are going to be the future leader one day. Thank you very much. And once again, thanks to Jail Management for having me here.
Now I would kindly invite the Honorable Pro Vice Chancellor of Jain University and Director of CMS, Dr. Dinesh Neelkant, to present a bouquet to our chief guest as a token of appreciation.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our distinct honor to introduce our keynote speaker for today. With over 18 years of experience navigating a dynamic corporate journey with Fortune 200 companies across the USA, Central and Eastern Europe, the Middle East, the Gulf, and Southeast Asia, our speaker brings a wealth of knowledge and insight to our conference. His roles have spanned consulting, coaching, mentoring, and training, and he has made a significant impact on over 9,000 leaders, executives, professionals, and students. His expertise covers a wide array of topics, and his dedication to enhancing skill sets across multiple domains is truly commendable. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Raman Pushkar as he shares his valuable insights in his keynote address. Over to you, sir.
So thank you, everyone, and thanks to the management team here for making me be here. So. Give me a minute to put it down. Thank you. Okay, so once again, a warm welcome to everyone. And thanks again to the management team for having me here. So what brings you everyone to AI? I think it's not about losing your natural intelligence, but how you leverage your artificial intelligence is the key matter for us. It's not just easy thing for every organization and institutes to hover this change. And remember, if you go back in 90s, when banks were asked, they should be computerized. I know a lot of my colleagues' parents who were literally had a tough time. But that tough time changed your journey, isn't it? Now, do you wait in long queues in banks now? You do everything in your mobile phone, isn't it? The same way, even in our banking, we have adopted and moved on, making as much simplified so that you could best use your time for right purposes. So here we want to talk about the world of AI and generative AI in education world. Right? Yeah. So I know most of us have seen the industrial era, what has happened so far. Initial days, we used steam powered machineries, right? Then we moved on to use the electrical energy to really produce and manufacture. And then we started using robotic change, bringing in different robots. And today is the world of AI. And some of the IoT has been used to large extent in many of the industries. I don't know how many of you have been to some of the industries. I personally visited Hyundai factory in Chennai, and they are literally using almost 450 robots. Does the laborers got impacted? No. They have more become creative and using those machineries for right production. Not just one industry, in any industry you go across, all these changes have happened. And have you known what is the market growth of this AI? Can you guess? Including the forecast revenue we are seeing here. Almost $40,000 million is going to be kind of a business in next 3 to 4 years. And is that not enough for you, for us, being most of you being a management graduates who want to embrace this, isn't it? Going further, a lot of time we talk easily AI, ML, DL, everything, right? But what are these actually? Just at a high level to get a context. AI, which we have been talking, it mimics the human beings, human intelligence, isn't it? And then we have machine learning. It's all about algorithms, looking into the past data, historical data, and gives you the future trends. Going further, deeper is deep learning. What does deep learning does? Neural network, how does our brain operates, right? We have neurons, isn't it? The same methodology has been adopted by deep learning. We go further. The topic for today, which you're going to go further in my upcoming slides, is generative AI. What is generative AI? The word itself tells you generates. It generates the text, audio, images, anything you want, it generates. It gives you more conclusive details, whichever you need. And that's where we are here today. So some of the examples of AI capabilities which we have adopted, a lot of us spoke about ChatGPT multiple times. So you could see here, we have machine learning, predictive analytics, which is being leveraged, speech, text to speech, Alexa. How many of you use Alexa here? Many of you? Good. Wonderful. So that's a kind of Siri. Anyone use Siri here?
Yeah.
Not the smile in Tamil, but the Siri means the tool used in the Apple, right? So wonderful. Image recognition, Google Lens. Have you used Google Lens? Wonderful. A lot of students are using. They are already AI enabled, I think. So language processing, different translation, Google translators. I was in China in 2016. I couldn't read Mandarin, right? Then really, their local tool, Baidu, really helped me to just take a snap. It tells me what it doesn't mean in a matter of few seconds. That's the kind of empowerment they have. Expert systems, planning and optimization, robotics, all these are taking into AI capabilities. You know how airplanes make sure the flights are moving across the world without any interruption as much possible? AI has been supporting in many of these instances. There are a lot of use cases we're going to talk about in the further slides. Now, trends. Which are the trends that are going to disrupt the higher education? That's where we are here today. Massive open online courses. We spoke about Coursera. It's there on my list. I didn't know that we're going to talk about Coursera. EDX, it's one of the platforms. I have also leveraged it. Wonderful platform. It's tied up with all the giant institutes and universities. Open to study, Udemy. Udemy is such a profound platform. It's a C2C, where anyone can create their own content and publish, and they get royalty. Let's say I publish a course for 500 rupees. Probably the Udemy takes 100 rupees, 400 rupees. Whenever I have more subscribers, I keep getting paid. So that's the kind of the opportunity we have today. Open educational resources, digital content, animation, multimedia, virtual universities. We spoke about Khan Academy, sir spoke about Khan Academy, right? Mobile learning. The world is in your pocket, right? Sometime I remember in 2006 when I was graduating, Karlo Dunya Mukhi Mein, that was the message we were talking about, having handphones for such a 2,000, 3,000 rupees. And today the learning is in our pockets. Then also micro knowledge and skills provider, YouTube, Netflix. Netflix also has into education. Does anyone know about this?
Yes.
Have you seen some of the animated support for students, kids to learn? It's not just for movies, okay, guys? So there are so many other things which you could embrace. Yeah, and then so many other things are happening. So this is a big question I think most of us spoke about. Do we lose our jobs? I think the mundane jobs will go away. And it's really good. I give you this analogy of, most of you know about basketball. If you go back 6 decades or 5 decades back, you know, there used to be a basketball man. What was his role? He'll climb up the ladder, take the basket out, give it back to the players. That was his job. Today, do you know about this fact? Today, they have cut the basket, the ball goes in up, and it comes down. You don't need a ladder to climb someone to bring it up. So that's the innovation, isn't it? So did we know about it? So that way, we have to embrace this change which is happening across to us. Some of the, I think, I'm not saying that, you know, you have to fear about this, but embrace it. Administrative office work, commercial business administration, technical administration, retail and shops, right? These days, I think everyone orders on Amazon, Flipkart. You hardly, you know, big baskets. There's so many players in the market now. It's saving time. That's very important. But what you do with your time, it's up to you. But we are not telling you what you should do with your time, which you get saved. At lower risk, obviously, children care and nursing, one-to-one, social work, managerial positions, research and education, which most of us are in here. So yeah, just giving a glance of this. The need for AI in education. There's so many things here listed here, right? Competency management. I think ma'am is also spoke about competencies. Universal access. how can anyone get in the world this universal access anywhere, any place? Like Sir also spoke about, from someone sitting in one corner of India, how they could go and reach anywhere else in the world. Then administrative activities, smart content creation, assessments. Assessment is a big thing these days now. Sometimes we feel there's a bias. How do we get rid of using AI? All this analytics, tutoring, task automation, personalization, classroom weaknesses, staff scheduling. How do we schedule the staff? Kudos to the management team here. How do you organize each staff member to this class, this section, this time? It's not easy. It's like same like you organizing airplanes, isn't it? So that's kind of a tedious job. And all this 24/7 assistance. So all these are made available through the AI. Now we slowly hover from AI to generative AI. Okay. Now coming specifically on generative AI EdTech categories overview. Which are those today? I think there's an opportunity for Jain and many other institutions to leverage these. Personalized learning and support. Sir spoke about it, right? How we can personalize as much possible each of our education which we are providing. We're going to go deeper in some of these slides about this. Career and skill development, unlearning, relearning, unskilling, reskilling. These are very critical elements. Content creation and enhancement. Ma'am spoke about 7 days of creating those content to now few minutes, isn't it? Then operational efficiency and management. How productive your staff and students could be. Imagine those days, we used to stand in the queue to make challan, to make the bank payment, to go to the college. How do you do today? UPI, simple. QR code, virtual payments, matter of few seconds. It's transformed literally, saving your time. Research and information access. Right? Many of us are doing research, we are doing PhDs, we are doing higher educations. AI is also empowering you there. Then integrity is another critical element. The quality of the content, how are we managing it? Okay, so going step by step now, the amount of companies who are coming into these sectors, if you see the three on the left side, AI-powered study tools, there are almost 53 companies who are venturing into it. And you have 36 companies who are into language learning, 36 companies into teacher assistants and co-pilots. So these are the categories which are emerging drastically these days. Going further, how generative AI is really changing the landscape of education and who are the market players today. So that's something you could embrace and learn from them as a best practice. So virtual tutors, right? If you see virtual tutors, teacher assistants and co-pilots, these are all part of your personalized learning, social and emotional learning. It's very important. As human beings, if we are not without emotions, who are we then, right? Can a mother's cooked food can be replaced by AI? No, I don't think so. Most of you might agree. Or probably a father's food also, right? Study and exam preparation tools.
We can't be sure.
Yeah, probably we can test it. Let's hopefully. Learning support and tutoring and teacher workflow optimization. So all these could be very personalized, right? And who are the market players in these areas, right? So you could see emerging, there are a few players, then you have funded, then the leader, who are those, then virtual tutors who are available, Khan Academy, I think we spoke about, and there are a few more schools which are into it. Then teacher assistants and co-pilots. I think these are the opportunities for future researchers and something you want to collaborate. I think these are something which I think people could think about. And mental health and SEL, social emotions, right? Then you have so many other players here. Going further, doesn't mean this is not the only list, just some of them which I felt are relevant in the market today. Going next, career and skill development. For upskilling, right, we have to keep upskilling our students. Like we also heard about how a professors or a lecturer, right, what they could bring new to the table, what is there already in the market, what else they could show to the student. That's where these are helping you. Personal career guidance, upskilling and workforce productivity, language learning and writing. And who are the players in these segments? You could see so many players in this market. Virtual speech to stimuli, so many players. And then you have workforce learning. How do you manage a workforce across? Language learning. I have used Duolingo, one of the fabulous language learning tool. amazing. They have animated, gamified it. We really enjoy it. Some of our organizations have also endorsed it for any, let's say someone is relocating to another country or you want to migrate to a new country, this plays really handy. I have personally leveraged those tools. Yeah, wonderful. Anyone of you using any of the tools here other than Duolingo? No, okay. Single lingo, okay. Okay, we go further. Here on the content creation and enhancements. For enabling the rapid creation of engaging and high quality interactive materials are so important. If it's not interactive, it's going to be boring, right? So it would be like saying the same reels again and again. You say not interested. So this is how it's very critical that be it on the education front or entertainment front, the content creation has to be of quality. Games and gamification, immersive learning, augmented reality, virtual reality. Have any of you played augmented reality games? Have you tried it? Xbox with augmented reality or PS4 latest version? Anyone using here, students? No? Don't be shy. I'm not into the. See, we have the speaker, guest speaker, who's done that. Yeah. But these are the things which are evolving. I saw one of the videos yesterday. One of the mother who lost her child many years back. With VR, she was able to feel the same daughter, and they could create that image and persona with the help of VR. Is that not great? Isn't it? That emotional connect is also being possible through this VR and AR. That's the kind of impact we want to bring into the human beings. And then again, you have market players here, which are into educational content creation. Then in games and gamification, Kahoot, such a wonderful tool we have used. And you want to do any online gamification, students will be excited games, isn't it, guys? Everyone, right? So please leverage these tools. It's going to really benefit everyone. Moving further, with regard to research and information access, I have subscribed to HBR and other. It's very important. What kind of research papers are you really leveraging? Scribd, for example, another beautiful tool which you can get multiple access. Again, I saw one of your e-library. I went to your e-library in one of your boutique centers. It's wonderful, right? And here you're trying to automate, give the summarized insights, and also give personalized research assistance. Who are the players? Again, we have Google Scholar. Anyone using here Google Scholar? Wonderful, all of you. Great. So there are so many other players in this. I don't know. I'll pause probably for in case someone wants to make a note or something. Right. Okay. Cool. So then academic integrity has become pivotal importance. These days the grace marks has been in discussion these days. So how do we get rid of these grace marks gracefully? Is through AI. Okay. So AI detection on these aspects, plagiarism detection, right? Most of the, I remember is one of the LinkedIn now I'm seeing people who are attacking plagiarists, who are copy pasting the same content. Someone wins the Olympic medal, it becomes LinkedIn news. Okay. So everyone is posting as though they have become reporters of LinkedIn. So these kind of things are happening in the market. So how do we bring control into governance into it? Reporting analytics, accuracy and effectiveness. Again, few market players if you want to refer to who could help you on these aspects. Okay, coming to operational efficiency and management, right? It's not easy task to really making even this conference was not easy, I suppose, for many of the organizations, isn't it? So you had to get the people in their time slots booked, right? Who will come on that time, right? For example, someone from Microsoft who are coming in early, for him it's a late night, and how we schedule him at the first. So all these are too much of work for us, isn't it? So how do we simplify those? So, and these are some of the players which could help you simplify it. And also one of the integration is very important. Let's say you have some legacy tools in your organization, in your institute. How do we integrate that with the AI tools is also very important with this. So some of the players, Power School, and you have funded DuoEye, and they are Go Teacher, they're emerging ones. So you could leverage them for your purposes. Now, coming next, the Gen AI considerations and the concerns. I know all of you feel that, it's really good, but what are those concerns? We also have to look into it. Okay. Large language models, which we spoke about. I think even the speaker from US, he spoke about. So there are varieties of applications we could do with a lot of data sets, right? But there are also implications and risks involved into it. What type of those specific risks? You will have API based or open source kind of technology? It will be fine tuned completely to the level of which you could really get into the detail? And vendor reliability, like you have so many players today. Do you know who is genuine, who are like really good support you, scalable, everything is important. Then data strategy. Is your data sourced public or proprietary? There are a lot of data leakage incidents you have seen everywhere. So how do we maintain and manage those? So is it secure, safe? Do we have right governance policy? Imagine, I have seen some of the Aadhaar details. Do you receive spam calls today? How this is happening? So we need a lot of governance around these aspects, how our data are secured. Again, AI maintenance and evolution. How do we ensure the data is tagged properly, retrain the model? So all these are key aspects. The maintenance, the fine tuning depends on the vendor you're going to work with, how you're going to manage those. Coming to the AI failure resistance, how do you make sure these errors are within the permissible limit? Okay, what is acceptable, unacceptable from your side? Then long-term scalability. To what extent we can cover which, let's say today you have 1,000 students, we heard 1,000 students being passed out from the MBA, right? These schools. Imagine that become 10,000. How are you going to manage this? It's going to be a lag. So what would be those challenges? How do you scale your infrastructure? Do you have cloud support mechanisms today? Will that take everything in consideration? So the performance, the infrastructure, support growth, and the implications. Even in our organizations, I have seen the challenges because we have to evolve and support different requirements coming from different backgrounds. Integration, which I spoke about, you have to integrate well so that it would help you to go further. So where is Gen AI headed for overall industry? Just a quick reference. The models are getting bigger. You see here the PALM, it's called Pathways Language Model. Can you guess how many parameters they have in their large language model? Any guesses? It's already indicated there. 540 billion models they have. That's the scale, right? And then you have Lambda. Again, it's part of Google. They're using conversational large language. Do you know Meta launched a few days back? What did they launch, Meta, students? The Llama 3.54. That's one of the largest language capabilities. It could transform the whole industry. And that is going to, probably it's a big competition for Google and Microsoft. And that's kind of the change you're going to anticipate in upcoming days. ChatGPT, any guesses? ChatGPT, most of you we spoke about. In 2 days, 2 to 5 days, they had almost 100 million users. Can you beat that? Okay, and then Instagram, obviously, I suppose most of the students should be on Instagram here. If you don't lose your kilogram, at least ensure you're on, right? So Spotify is another one. Dropbox, Facebook, and Twitter. Twitter is now X anyway. So or else I would have then guy, the person who's a Twitter chairman now, ex-chairman. Elon Musk would say me, why you are using the bird? I should use X. So that's the kind of AI evolution we are looking at. Okay, so everyone is betting big on all the investors. You look at it. Amazon on some of the upcoming companies, they're doing big time. Google also, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Meta. So they are investing big time on all these companies who are into big time AI. Okay. Any guess what would be the highest valuation of OpenAI? How much that would be? OpenAI, what would be the valuation? Almost $30 billion. This is as of Q3 23. As of today, it's almost $80 billion. That's kind of the valuation they're having. What about a startup from Jain University, which really gives this kind of a competition, isn't it? That's the kind of the vision I would love to have here. The scale, the Hugging Face, there's so many players are in and around this market. Now coming specific to safety and compliance, this is what we have been talking and again. Everyone knows a knife with a thief what he would do? He would torture someone, he would do something else. A knife with a doctor, he could cure, isn't it? It will help you to cure that. So same way, AI is the same way. For what purpose are you using the AI? Are you using to heal or support someone, or you're trying to sabotage someone? So this is very important. So there, for example, the Coher, they are adhering to GDPR, one of the strong fundamentals of data privacy from Europe, General Data Protection Regulation. And everyone refers to that. Even our organization has to maintain a GDPR. So most of these AI are adhering to it. So ensure that when you are embracing AI, these certifications are very important so that they adhere to the global regulations, right? Coming next, given these changes we have around the AI risks, which is taking challenge on us, and there are some AI tools which are really helping them out. For example, when web came into picture, Sir spoke about 93 and 94 later on. Then there is something called as antivirus came into picture. Yourself, you created web, and you're saying you should have antivirus. What is this? Right? So obviously there will be always plus and minus for any new innovation which you do. So for that, AI also has enabled providing these in the market, which could mitigate your risks for training data curation, data anonymization, version controlling, media, tabular, federated learning platforms, model validation. So you also have AI players who are supporting you in these risks and governance. Now coming to the market, right? There's always an open and closed markets for these kind of things. OpenAI, okay? This is kind of a funding which has happened for OpenAI, which we spoke about. And there are some open source LLMs and closed source LLMs. What is open source and closed source? Any guesses, students here? Open source and closed source? Yeah.
This is for general public and closed is for like private.
Wonderful, very good answer. Yeah, so that's kind of the approach, but obviously closed source has higher investment because of organization they want to reach out. But on the other side, they are mostly C2C, where you see lower funding. But that doesn't mean it's stopping them. And there are a lot of vendors who are getting into this space where open source is highly endorsed and supported by larger organizations. They're slowly moving there. So final, last but not the least, the conclusion. What is the conclusion for us? So personalized and quality education was a luxury some time back. You remember someone who is very prestigious, they'll have teacher coming to their home, teaching only one student in Raja Maharaja time. That's gone those days. It's now AI time, where every student will get right opportunity from everyone. So as per World Economic Forum, almost 250 million students going to get these benefits of having very personalized and quality education. Going further, talking about ethical concerns, which we are already having about what will happen to my job. My privacy will be safeguarded or not? Algorithm bias. Some algorithms are giving specifically different kind of outputs. How do we maintain this? So AI, we have to make sure these are also mitigated, and AI continues to make sure these are very safeguarded and mitigate those negative consequences. Last but not the least, we are in a really transformative journey because, for example, we have been in an era where we saw television to the mobile. Now mobile onwards is telling us everything. In this era, generative AI is not merely a technological marvel, it's also a catalyst for us, which is going to revolutionize the entire educational world. With this, I thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity to be here. Yes.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Dr. Raj Singh, to present the bouquet to our keynote speaker as a token of our appreciation.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Now, I would like to invite Dr. Vara Lakshmi, our conference convener, to take over the stage and deliver vote of thanks and provide further information regarding the event.
As we draw close to the first session illuminating conference on AI enhancing learning, I'm really privileged to extend our collective gratitude to all who have made this event a grand success. Evolution of this idea generation for the conference AI Enhanced Learning, Shaping Tomorrow's Education Landscape, began with selecting a central theme focused on AI transformative impact on education. Initial brainstorming involved diverse stakeholders. To begin with, our beloved Pro-Vice Chancellor and Director, Dr. Dinesh Neekan, followed by Dr. Harold Patrick, the Professor and Dean, Faculty of Management, leading to categorization of ideas into keynotes, panel, and workshops. Emphasis was placed on showcasing the real-world applications, ethical considerations, and fostering collaborations. The process expanded to incorporate global perspectives, thematic tasks, future predictions, ensuring a comprehensive, inclusive, and forward-thinking exploration of AI in education and learning. Feedback and iterations were integral in finalizing this particular theme. First and foremost, I would like to express our sincere appreciation to all our distinguished keynote speakers. Their visions, insights, and pioneering research have not only enlightened us, but also set stage for future advancements in AI and education. Your contributions are the cornerstones for our discussion and will undoubtedly inspire for future innovations. On behalf of organizing committee, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the principal officers present here for the conference, for the invaluable contribution to the success. The dedication, insight, guidance, and unwavering support were pivotal in bringing this vision to fruition. Your expertise enriched our discussions, and your leadership ensured seamless coordination. We are deeply appreciative of the time and effort you invested in making this event a resounding success. Thank you for all your commitment and advancing the field of AI in education and for helping shape the brighter future for learning. I also extend our gratitude to academic and research partners, Indian Journal of Science and Technology, IUP, also our industry partners for their support, which has been instrumental in bringing this conference to life. Your belief in the potential of AI to transform education is driving force behind this effort. A special thanks to all the organizing committee, our program coordinators, and our academic coordinators, whose dedication and meticulous planning and tireless efforts behind the scenes have ensured smooth execution of this event. Your hard work has been pivotal in making the conference a success. I also would want to mention the technical team without whom we could not get this seamlessly done with this event. As we initiate the first session, let us carry forward the knowledge and insights gained here, continue to innovate and collaborate in shaping the future of education through AI for these 2 days as well as in the future. Today, we are paving the way for the brighter and more inclusive educational landscape. Thank you once again for all of you to make this conference an eventful and a memorable event. Thank you so much. Please note, plenary sessions will commence from 12 o'clock today. We have a tea break now. Also, this will be on the second floor. The faculty and the student coordinators will be happy to help you for the seamless facilitation of the event. Also, please note that the second day of our conference tomorrow will commence by 9 o'clock. And we will take a break for lunch by 1:30 in the 6th floor. Thank you all. You can have your refreshments and your plenary sessions information is already provided to you all. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Attendance